Hey, my name is Max. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to create a simple client portal inside of ClickUp. I'll give you a walkthrough through the entire setup step by step so that you, by the end of this video, will have like a clean, professional space where your clients can log in, see their project status, and like stop sending those like, hey, where are we at emails. And of course, quick background, who I am. I'm the founder of FlowClick. I build automation systems for agencies specifically. So I know the systems inside and out. And in this case, I'm going to be building off a structure, which I have been doing for the last couple of videos. I have a 3-part series around this. So if you're curious, check it out. Me building like a complete ClickUp structure from the ground up. So without further ado, let's go back into ClickUp and start building the client workspaces. So there are two things which you should consider when building specifically for ClickUp. And those two things are how many clients you currently have and how much visibility they can have. So there's two ways of adding clients as a portal, right? The way which isn't as scalable is if you invite them as guest users. As a lot of you people know, there's only a limited amount of people who can be guests. This is depending on the plan you have in ClickUp. If you have a higher plan, you pay more. If you have a lower plan, you can have less people. Higher plan, more people, right? So I'm going to show you both ways of doing it. The first thing is let's say you have, in this case, a couple of clients, only a handful, and you want to share their process. Let's say you create a folder called the client. The client is called My Company, FlowClick. In here is the client you're going to work in. So if you have less than 10 clients, I recommend just having, depending on like how big, some people have like enterprise clients, so they only work with like 8, 9, or 10 companies at one time. You can invite those people as a guest to dashboards or similar. So in practice, how this would look like if I just open one of my templates I've used before, such as leads, and just create a dashboard, they will have like a dashboard of all the things going on. You can customize the dashboards from the scratch with like chats, templates. They can just see the whole structure around the ClickUp. So to make this practical, let me actually build everything out from the ground up by having like a very simple, straightforward tutorial. Let's say you sign a client and that's FlowClick. The thing you do, onboarding call, you assign myself, due date, let's say tomorrow. Send brief for client. Let's see, do SEO for this person. That's on 2 days. Send SEO audit document. Just some tasks you do for a client. You could do it like this. You can create a view. You can create a dashboard. We can customize this dashboard, which is client portal, right? This is the thing you want to do. We use this. You can see, welcome to the client portal. You can see the to-dos. So what's ongoing. So you just share this with the client by pressing share and then adding them as a guest. So the single view, you invite them. There are only a certain number of people you can do this for. That's why I'm not going to be focusing on this method. If you're willing to pay for guests, or if you only have a handful of clients, or want like a detailed approach, I think this is a great way to do it. But generally speaking, you have to pay for it once you go over a certain amount or so. So keep in mind, right? So you can have a very clean client dashboard just like this. You can add documents, you can see text, you can add embed cards, so you can have like your own requests, you can see. So they can request stuff. You can have the tasks for the week. You can have next week's tasks. Chat with the clients like, hey, how are you doing? You add the client name. What's up? it's very straightforward. You just create this, you customize it to your own, and like do however you want, right? You have this card thing which you can customize. You can add calculations, you can add bookmarks, you can add documents, tasks due soon maybe worth adding. So you can just add a bunch of different cards, customize these however you want with notes, with documents like, hey, how are you doing? Brief. And I don't want to take much focus on the current dashboard system because it's just not very maintainable or like very usable. It's just like a nice client portal that works, but it's only for guest users. If you want to create a client portal that you don't have to add users for, I'm going to show like the actual way, which doesn't look as good. I don't think it's like there, but I think you can definitely create a good enough structure to make this work properly. So in this case, I'm going to show you how this is going to look like. So there's something called documents. Documents in ClickUp is basically like a Google document, a Page document, any document you can imagine. It's basically the same thing. This document in ClickUp is going to be your client portal. The reason for this is because we can just share this without having to be a user. So I can just share with anyone and have this link populate with all kinds of people. So in short, you can see, help me write. Create me a client dashboard, a client portal here that looks clean and is very similar to a dashboard. Hoping this works. I can create the whole thing with AI. Hopefully they can. Yeah, okay. So you can kind of see like, hey, what we can do, active milestones, file sharing. In this case, I'm going to say flow click client. So you share this with a person in another document, and they can just have access to this at all times and seeing the progress. And now it's time, you can see, very clean, right? Now it's time to customize this document. You can add fields. So this is I like to have it just like tables overviews. You can see project overview, project name, flow click, owner, max. This can be both for internal stuff, but also for just them to know from the ground up. So the most important part, you can write the text yourself. You can customize this. It's very shareable. And then you just use views with filters. So ClickUp list as a table. We pick the list which we just created, list. And you can see the different stuff. I'm hoping this is sparking some ideas like, hey, what can we do? What can we structure? You can customize this however you want. You can change views, you can change filters. You can do everything here completely custom to the client. More things, we go through here, we click, you can checklist, documents, templates, banners, headings, like embedding apps. You can add like your Miro boards, your Figmas, your YouTubes. You can add everything. And I want you to try this out on your own. Like, hey, testing different approaches, testing different systems. You can see what works the best here. And generally speaking, I think it's high leverage to do something like this for clients when having dashboards. And you don't have to be like a massive user of ClickUp. You can just use this for yourself or just like give updates to clients while having a place to work. So you can customize this. You can like, hey, AI, please write me an update of the list in the flow click table. So I can prepare, call, and tell me the next steps. I'm going to now use AI to write me a brief, which I can share to the client. Right? So prepare for the call, during the call, post. And I can basically take I didn't do that specifically, but I can take information from the list through here and tell me like briefs and so on, right? So the open doors, you can customize this however you want. You can add fields, you can add documents, you can add whiteboards. You can do everything through here, right? So you can have access to whiteboards. There are a lot of things you can do. You can write through here, you can create documents, everything. And that's how simple you can create a client dashboard. So play around with this. Of course, make it clean, make it visual. But I just thought to open some eyes, like how to create a proper client dashboard that's still very maintainable. I can just copy this, share it with the client. They have access 24/7 to this document. So why is this even relevant? Well, you don't have to actually update anything. You don't have to change anything. You can just work on your own, just like a normal person would do, if it loads, of course. If you go back to ClickUp in here, let's say, work like your team works in here. They don't think about the portal. They put in progress. This is urgent, right? Also in progress. They will see all of this stuff in the dashboard. It's urgent. They can see it's in progress. It's currently working. All of those things are currently maintainable from the system in here, right? So by just accessing the different stuff in here, it's currently loading by a bit. But yeah, you can download it, you can share it, you can edit it. And that's how simple you can share different dashboards, right? And that's how you do. You write updates, you write documents, updates for the week. So you don't have to technically do anything in the document. You can just ask AI to do everything for you. You can just add the lists, add documents, and it does all the updates. Hopefully, it doesn't lag that much now. But yeah, obviously it works flawlessly. You can see this is the thing loading here. But you have everything automatically updated and done for the client. So yeah, good luck. Test it out, try it out, play around with ClickUp, play around with different functions. It's very straightforward. You just test, write, seeing what works, and seeing what looks visually best. And then just connect this very easily through the CRM system. You have a client in here. You add a relationship task, document, link documents. I find, let's say, FlowClick. I link my FlowClick document, right? Add a document. We find the FlowClick. And I can have it just natively linked through my actual dashboard here. Very straightforward. So yeah, play around with it, give it a shot, do some testing, see what works, see what you prefer for your client specifically. And then, yeah, just play around and see what you prefer the best. So, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be building a lot of more agency automations, both ClickUp tutorials, but also just like agency management content. So yeah, if you want to see more advanced stuff, just follow along, subscribe, like, and I have a bunch more content. And if you need help with the ClickUp or automations just around the agency, maybe it's Monday, maybe it's HubSpot, maybe it's go high level, contact me, book a call, or just send me an email if you have any questions. Thank you, and hope you have a wonderful day. And of course, ask if you have any questions down below. And if you want to see any more content, just tell me what you want to see.